That roar is probably the loudest roar at Adelaide Oval I've ever heard.
You want to make sure that you keep the dirt out of the pipes. You want to make sure you flush your sprinkler bodies and your lines before you put your nozzles on there.
The next stage is cultural practices like scarifying and coring those areas, removing as much of the material as possible.
We brought back animals from extinction before 56.
Ladies and gentlemen, and Clint, welcome to episode 62 of Lawnhub Live. Before lunch, breakfast, Clint's in a suit and smelling lovely.
After, are you going to use the computer?
Well, apparently you're not. You didn't bring your laptop.
No, but I could still use one.
Oh, that's well.
Is that laptop agnostic, or does it only work with your hand?
Two big words.
Laptop and agnostic.
Agnostic
is what
agnostic.
Agnostic. Do you know what agnostic means?
You have to refresh my memory.
It's like non-binary.
Ah,
but if the binary is the religion,
it's full male.
Agnostic being you are non-denominational.
No.
So I'm like, are you Catholic or
neither?
Christian or Muslim? And you'd be like, I'm agnostic.
Oh yes.
I love all religions. That might be wrong. Also, I didn't go to university.
Not financial advice.
Not religious advice.
How are you, Clint?
I'm good, man. How
good.
Are you?
Got a cracking game of footy last night.
Was it the umpire's fault the Crows lost last
the Crows just got outclassed by Geelong, a very classy Geelong. It was as a football fan, it was a brilliant game to watch.
Was it strategically?
Yeah,
Geelong just played better strategically.
Chris Scott outcoached the Crows.
Yep.
Brought in all of his experience and his class and his Danger and Jeremy Cameron definitent stood up in that last.
What's the go? Who's this number 20 for the Crows?
Hinge. So is
he useless?
No, he had a great game last week. Just went
I
full
watched
limp
it for a little bit, and I was like, can someone take this guy off? Like, he's just cost 7 points.
Oh, you got Insta up? So you're going to do Insta? Done.
Yep. He's just cost 7 points, and that turnover in the third.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Oh, well, he just should have just kicked it and there was a few.
There's situations like that happen in my basketball. My son's under 14s where I'm like, you cannot take on the team.
Yep.
That's why there's the same number of them as there is of you. If you have 3 players on you, that means there's 2 people free.
Yes.
Anyway, I couldn't play. I'm too fat.
But no, the spread and carry of Geelong in that last half, it was a real class act from Geelong. It was, like I said before, as a football fan, it was really good to watch. Cracking game to start gather around. 50,073 people attended Adelaide Oval last night.
Yeah, I never believe those numbers.
There was definitely 50,000
I know
there.
that,
Like, I think in round 1, there was 43, and there was definitely more people there last night than there was against.
Do you think they built out the teams to play each other to maximise attendance for that gather round? Like,
maybe.
I saw there was that the Port Hawthorn bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, yes, possibly, but I was actually speaking to Dylan before about the 5-day turnaround for the Crows after playing in the Gold Coast and what is it, low 30s, high humidity.
I think that's a load of shit.
No, it would have made a difference, but like
these
I said,
guys are professional athletes.
They are professional athletes.
You got fucking 5 days. You think about every other sport, they play every 2 days.
Yeah.
Calm down.
But they like I said, they were outclassed, and on the train home, I started watching the Masters, so it's Masters week.
Yeah.
As golf fans, massive week, first major of the year. Looking phenomenal.
I don't really know what that means. All I know is Jason Day was 2 under.
He could be.
He was on the radio this morning when I was driving to the car. Celeste listens to commercial radio, so it was good. Got to listen to kids ringing up and telling them fun facts about animals.
Yes.
And a few commercials, which is handy, like Charlesworth nuts. Buy nuts for Easter. You want some fresh nuts in your mouth for Easter, then Charlesworth is the place to be.
Yep.
And Jason Day, 3 under in the hunt.
Is he
2 under? Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, but. Brilliant first day by Justin Rose, 7 under 65. Rory was looking good until he went double par double.
I don't like that guy.
No, I hate him.
I just don't. I think that there's. I don't know. I think there's a way to be away.
There is a way to be away.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a way to be Nick Kyrgios, and there's a way to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there Formula One drivers that act like that? Was it Jenson Button? Was he a bit of a dick? Anyway,
not sure, but that
not financial advice.
The F1 video seems to be getting a bit of traction from.
Is this power on?
This power.
Has anyone turned that on? Yep, sick. The F1 video is getting some traction.
Yeah. So maybe we'll just be a hybrid of all sports.
We'll just do a sport podcast
and talk a little bit about
Have you
footy,
seen fucking Chris
grass.
Menager on the old lawn bowls walk? Like, we should probably be able
That's
to cut that
serious.
in.
Yeah. that was a good night.
I've actually got a lunch today for the round of gathering.
Oh, yes, I've got something for you.
Oh, yeah.
If you still wanted
Upset
to
some
wear
people.
it.
Yeah. That's cool. People will be like, are you a member? I'll be like, I got no idea what you're talking about. Is that where it goes?
Yeah, above the left. Yeah.
Deal? Yeah? That's good. Yeah, throw it on. Yeah, I've got contractually required to support the Crows now. So
There we go. Look at that.
people will be like, you a Crows fan? I'm like, no.
That colour suits him.
I just wear the pin because I'm contractually obliged. I like it. Well, no, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Is that a new one?
Yes, that's this year's.
You get it if you're a member.
Well, you get to choose what you want with your membership. So you can either have a digital ticket and a $50 Crows voucher as part of, and obviously your seat, or you can choose the $20 voucher and get a lanyard with your plastic ticket, a pin and a sticker and a patch.
And you call it the train.
Caught the train.
I was wondering how you would get in.
There's some unique humans on the train.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to remember the train is bringing people in from and through some of the most unique suburbs in South Australia, if not Australia.
Yes, it's
buses don't go to, so trains only go to those areas. As in, there's a direct connection between public transport and, say, high school attendance.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the best way to put it? I don't know.
Yeah, but it obviously, as a football fan, I caught the train, right? And so did thousands of other people.
You caught the train, yep.
Yeah, but it's funny that people that don't know what's going on, then they board their normal
Expecting
5:30 train at to Salisbury. Exactly right.
Where's my fucking seat?
Yeah, so there's a bit of that. And being a Thursday night is obviously
Late night shopping.
And
is that still a thing?
I don't fucking know. Government just chooses what they say and do these days.
How's fucking Saturdays a public holiday for Easter now?
But we have spoken about this, but yeah, it's always been a public holiday. It's just whether it's been restricted or unrestricted.
I don't agree with it.
That's fine.
It's just a Saturday. Maybe I should get into politics and fix all this shit. No more public holidays. Do you reckon I'd get votes for that?
Probably not. Not with
All
the
you scumbags.
Not the hospitality and retail sector.
Wanting to get paid to not do anything.
But
what's new? What are we talking about today?
I don't know. I thought we were just going to wing it
Lawn?
and see what happens. We filmed the video at the front. I've replaced every single sprinkler head out there.
It's funny. The front lawn has just been scarified and top dressed, and it looks better than my back lawn.
Yeah,
still looks better than my back lawn.
It's going to look even better, obviously, once that rice starts to pop up. But
did you do anything on the other side?
Nah. There's actually cooch mite in that section, so let's just add that to the problems with that small lawn as well. Yeah. But changed all the nozzles this morning, and there's much better spray pattern out there now.
Did you steal them or buy them?
No, we bought them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Support local business.
Support local business. Support Water Pro.
Yep.
3 locations, so north, central, and south.
Yep.
North-ish.
You can catch the train to 2 of those locations.
Yes.
Oh, you could probably catch the train to all of them.
You probably could have, depending. Yeah.
How far you're willing to walk.
Yeah.
Did you stay for the whole game?
Yeah. No, we're not those. Angel and I aren't those supporters that leave midway through the last quarter. I hate that.
Get out of there.
No,
mate.
I hate that shit so much.
Get the early train.
It's not how I was brought up. And actually, by staying behind, I had a really good chat with a Geelong supporter, a lady. She would have been about her mid-60s. And yeah, she was just like me at the time, had no voice.
Just from screaming.
Supporting, cheering. And yeah, she was, she started off by saying it's great that Adelaide can put on such an event. I don't think she was from Adelaide.
That, there was chatter this morning on TV about Tasmania having a crack at it. Who the fuck is going to go to Tasmania to watch football?
People say the same about Adelaide though.
No one.
Yeah, they don't.
No one.
It's probably a bit harsh, but they don't have the facilities just yet. You need a stadium that holds 50, 60,000 people.
And other shit to do.
Well, there is a fair bit to do.
Oh, yeah. There's
an
art gallery.
You can walk from the
harbour.
west side to the east side. And there you go.
And there's a couple of total tall stores. And there's definitely one in Hobart.
Yeah.
So there you go. Go watch a fucking game of football in Tasmania and go to Total Tools.
Yeah. Get your Lawnhub, catch the ferry on the way back.
Some art.
Go have a look at Mount Wellington.
What else do you do?
Mount Wellington, is that what it's called?
I think it's all called Mount Tasman.
But nah, obviously Barossa Park looks phenomenal. The video that Water Pro shared.
I was having a laugh about that yesterday because Celeste, I think I said it's funny how everyone, like anyone who drove past and fucking smelt that place is taking credit for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, we're really glad to be involved or not.
Yeah.
But just a reminder, photo, we sell this. Photo, we sell this. And I saw a couple of companies promoting Tiff Tough. And I was thinking, oh, that's interesting. Everyone's going to be like, oh, that looks good. I'll just get some Tiff Tough. And then maybe oversaw it with rye.
Yeah.
Because that's what you can see.
Yeah, that's what you can see,
Like,
yeah. But it's funny, like these companies that sell Tiff Tough and they're like, obviously sharing it, promoting it, but they're not spelling Tiff Tough correctly. Like it really
As in it starts T-H-A?
Well, it's just, it's too many Fs, not the correct T lettering as well.
These are actual resellers of it.
Actual resellers of it, yeah. So it's just...
Maybe it's an SEO thing. They're just trying to get that,
Yeah. Yes, but it's just interesting.
Like
obviously.
when I had my website PromHub just to try and grab a couple of extra, really aggressive typers that I'm like, I got to get in there.
Oh, fuck, I got 15 minutes. I've got to get in there.
XMXX. I've got a question here from Freddens.
Yeah.
Did Premature and BBW yesterday. Can I run NSFW today and then Halo Force the day after?
I mean, if you want, obviously the longer you space the next. So when you space NSFW out, try, we advise at least 10 days, but if you can do 7 to 10 days, it just gives a chance for the weeds to start actively growing. And then when you do spray NSFW, it's a much more efficient uptake via the weed. So, and then Halo Force the same. You want to get it to an actively growing weed to get a much more efficient and faster kill.
So, lady from Geelong.
I don't know if she was from Geelong, but she was definitely not from here. She was very impressed with because there was a nice light show before the teams came out.
Yeah, if you have an event at Adelaide Oval, you can buy that.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't surprise me because
how much it costs?
Thousands. Yeah,
in the tens of thousands.
Yeah, because
tens of thousands.
Those light sets cost us hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, but you got them now. Just give us a good discount.
Yeah, give us a deal.
Otherwise, we're just going to sit there. We'll pay power plus labour.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to pay anything else.
No. So, and she was, obviously in that second and third, in the third quarter and the second quarter when the Crows kicked 6 goals, she was like, that brand of footy was excellent to watch. But as I talked about, I think Crow's second game where they'll get found out is against the better sides on the switch on a turnover, and Geelong just fucking killed us. When,
Yeah, Goody, we were talking in the team chat, and he's like, it's like they're going to kick 130 no matter what, and if you kick more, you'll win.
Yeah,
which is I'd rather watch offensive for any sport like that.
Yeah. Well,
even NBA, like when they have a game where it's just end to end, end to end, end to end. There's not this like pausing and wait for like set up a play. No. Effectively, that's soccer.
Yeah.
Like
there's really not much of that at all.
Like I think soccer would actually be more interesting, and most purists will fucking get very angry about this if the game was like 134-32.
Yeah.
You'd be like, this fucking action all the time.
Action. And like the first quarter went for 34 minutes. Like that is a representation of fast footy, fast scoring footy. And I think the second quarter went for about that 32, 33.
I prefer that as a brand.
Well, I mean, there was 219 points scored. Like that, it's better than these 55 to 70 games. Yeah. But I suppose the one thing we didn't talk about is Texas goal.
How many goals did he kick?
2 in the end.
Yeah, like they didn't put money on it.
But that first goal, that roar is probably the loudest roar at Adelaide Oval I've ever heard. And that was, he just took on the Geelong player, stepped him, left
The only thing I saw that, which I thought was fucking crazy. And I was phenomenal. Like, this guy's going to kick 5. And then I saw him in like the third like he landed on someone or someone took him down and then he gave him a fucking little... Yeah,
because actually where we were sitting, we were in line with that. He actually, I think he got a knee to the back of his knee.
Yeah.
So he was in a position and he actually took him a while to get up. So that's why he handed it off, but then it was a straight turnover and went back.
Yeah. Not that one. There was something else. He was on the other side and I think he got in, and then this dude was like pushing him down. You know how they push you up and shit. I'm like, oh, come on, get some fucking action.
But no, it's still exciting. Obviously, the Crows were not very good last year. They've done a full, they've got a new list there. Really exciting. I think, it is a bit of a reality check. They've come up against 2 quality sides and, Gold Coast, they were in the kick, and then, Geelong, they just let it slip there in the last, probably half of the last quarter, where they were able to pile
Geelong
on
have been
another
good for a
5.
long
They've
time.
been very good for a very, very long
They'd
time.
have the oldest team in the competition, though.
I know they definitely did last year. They did have a lot of new names last night as well. But just to watch Geelong do what they do, and they've been doing it for nearly 2 decades, has been really good to watch. And I think the Crows will learn a lot from last night. But yeah, it's just their defensive. Once that ball gets turned over, they're out of position. Geelong are all goal side. As the season goes on, you'll start to become less fumbly, hopefully, and a lot more cleaner with the skills. But yeah, good signs for Adelaide supporters. I think, we've probably got a really good list for, hopefully we can keep them for a few years. We have recruited a lot of SA boys. Obviously, we did recruit some interstate players, and they just go straight back. So, it was really, although we lost, it was a good game.
We had obviously after the last podcast, I spoke about AI umpires.
Yes.
And then the Crows got fucking...
Yeah, look, as a Crow supporter, again, we were hard done by a few decisions, but there was 4 or 5 decisions where Geelong should have had holding the balls.
I'm talking the game before.
The AFL come out and apologise. I think
that surely can't be enough.
No, it's not. But you're not going to overturn the decision because there's no guarantee that Rankin was going to kick that goal. But at a minimum, he would have scored a point, and it would have been scores level. Teams go at it for a minute 20. But I also, like I said to Ervo, you can't have the result of a game. Like, the Crows had their opportunities.
Well, I did say that during the week, that it's like UFC. If you're going to leave it up to the umpires, then if you go out there and like physically kill someone, then you've won.
Yes. So, decisions made. People are human. At the time,
umpires aren't, as far as I've been told. Most of the people I speak to said they're maggots.
Maggots. Yeah. But even the umpiring last night, like, obviously, the man in front rule doesn't exist anymore. I don't
even know what that means.
Yeah. So you learn that in Auskick. So if you're in the front of a pack, and the ball is stationary and you're at the front of the pack,
you're protected.
The ball should be yours, regardless of what happens after that. So the Geelong player was behind and then had the momentum, came through and snatched it out of his hands, even though the Crows player was in front.
Yeah.
At a minimum, in that case, if you're unsure, it's a ball up.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Not a Geelong mark. So in my opinion, it should have been a ball up.
Is that a new thing?
No, that's been around since.
More like they haven't changed the rule?
No, that was just a misinterpretation of the umpire's decision making. But 20 minutes later, there was 4 holding the ball calls that should have went in favour of Geelong that were play on. Yeah. So, the umpiring both ways last night was horrendous again.
Surely there's a solution to that.
Oh, fuck. I don't know, but...
No? Yeah, robots.
But the boos...
Or a review, something like a fucking... But that would be bad for the sport. Yeah. Like the coach can just flick a switch and the game stops.
There was a
And they have to review it.
Last night for a point that was through the goal post, the point post, and it went through the middle of the point area.
Yeah.
Review just want to make sure it went over the line. What do you mean?
Who calls that? The
umpire nearly came back out from the crowd.
Yeah.
That's how far it was over. So I don't know. It's obviously going to be another talking point.
Maybe that's symbolic of 8th place trophies. No one's expected to do anything and everyone gets rewarded for nothing. And so when you get put into a situation where you actually have to make a call, you can't. Because
they just turned to jelly.
Are these umpires in a new generation, or are there older heads out there?
I don't know the answer to that. I've got no idea. But
have you got any questions?
Yeah, we got some comments here, which is good. So Nathan Mandrang, bit early for a beer, but okay. Some would argue that it's never too early for a beer, but
clinical alcoholics.
Julian, morning gents. R word here. I'm in Melbourne and can't identify the grass types in my lawn. Can you help? We sure can, Julian. If you send them, you're on YouTube there. So if you have Facebook or Instagram, you can send them to our messenger chat there. Or if you want to go to our website, there's a text chat there as well. You can send some photos through as well, and we'll be more than happy to help. Shane Murphy, got some premature in store at Total Tools Ballarat. They are selling lots. Well done.
They are fucking killing it. They would be the biggest reseller of the Total Tool group, I would say. Because they're promoting it.
And then we've got a big long message here from Josh Knott. So bare my reading skills. So this could be very reception. Dylan.
Hashtag Gawler.
Hashtag
It's
Evanston
called
Primary.
Foundation now because kids like you that they were like, oh, you're in reception. They'd go to the front of the building and where it says the reception.
Ah,
yeah. So
no, I never
it was
ever
a Gawler
thought.
problem.
I never actually thought of that being a problem until you just said that. But no, my primary school doesn't exist anymore. It's now a housing estate.
Same amount of crime, different
Yes.
people.
All right. Morning legends. I've been following your content for a while now. I probably first started following the Lawnhub products and brand about 4 years ago, but over the last 12 months, I've really gotten into my lawn. I've been listening to the podcast, watching all the training videos, and I reckon I've just about memorized Adam's product overview and 12-month lawn plan videos.
Maybe you can write the book.
Man, there is a comment down below about the book. They've seriously lifted my lawn game. I'm now at the point where it's time to install some irrigation to get more consistent, accurate watering. I was down at Dry Creek Water Pro store yesterday and grabbed a few things to get started. Ryan's working up a quote for the rest of it. I actually saw both your lovely faces there too. And to be honest, it felt bloody weird. You boys speak so candidly on the podcast. It's like I already know you. After watching so much of your content, it was a bit surreal walking into the office. I didn't say anything because you boys looked flat out and didn't want to interrupt, but just wanted to say love your work. Oh, and I'm kicking off the install today with some valve boxes and a few bits and pieces.
So he would have been in there, like for you and I both to be in that building at the same time. I know exactly what we were doing.
I know exactly what we were doing. Yeah.
Fuck.
That's crazy. That is fucking.
Jinx.
Yeah. Oh, under a roof goes back to you. That's funny. Ready for the full setup once it comes through. Any tips, tricks, or advice to get myself up for success would be awesome. I'm assuming that's to do with the irrigation install.
Look, you've done everything right. You've gone to a professional irrigation shop. You've spoken to someone who knows what they're talking about. I guess pitfalls for irrigation, making sure that you've done your pressure versus flow test, or at least a flow test. If you've done that, you've given scaled diagram out to
Right.
Reedy.
Nah, that's Jared.
No, the photo looks like Reedy. That looks like Reedy.
Oh God.
we saw Fat Reedy in Melbourne. I got a photo. I'll send it to you. So yeah, as long as you've got you've done your water pressure versus flow or flow, you've got your scale diagram. You've taken it to a professional irrigation shop, and then you just follow the instructions. I mean, you want to make sure that you keep the dirt out of the pipes. You want to make sure you flush your sprinkler bodies and your lines before you put your nozzles on there. If you've used MP rotators, they're quite a sensitive nozzle, so if you don't flush them, you'll get dirt straight in them. You might have a problem. That's probably it, really. I mean, it depends. If you're trenching into existing lawn, then you could cut that lawn up and then put it onto a piece of cardboard or onto some carpet or something to stop that all the soil that you're taking out of the trench from actually top dressing next to the trench, and then you can place it all back into the trench. So you'll find that it's less disruptive. I think did the tool shed. Is that his Instagram?
Yes.
Did he do a video of him doing his install?
Yes.
He did. So I think that's right. Yeah. So you could look at what he did. The one thing he didn't do is put the cardboard down because it was funny. I messaged him afterwards and said, hey, if you put cardboard or something down, then it'll stop the soil from top dressing the bit next to it. But really, that's it. You've got everything that you need. Hopefully, obviously, you've got 30-degree temperatures for the next week.
Yeah, which is crazy.
If you've got Kaikuya, that'll be fully re-established by the time the weather's done. I don't know if the state government have anything to do with the weather control, but they've done a good job. Gather round 29 each day. Live seems to always have good weather.
Yeah,
Gather round seems to have good weather. Then it just rains in between.
Bros is going to be beautiful over the weekend, so
yeah,
be great for it. So,
to be a drug dealer in the Barossa Valley this weekend. All your Christmases have come at once.
Jesus. VJ, g'day legends. G'day VJ. Clint Osborne, hey lads. Hello Clint. Rex, how's the book going, Jones? It's funny you say that because I was actually was I talking to you, Dylan, or Kira, about new photos for the weeds? Yeah.
So ask Emma. She's going into print media. Yeah.
So
while she's printing her 10, we can do our 20.
Yeah, we've noticed that a lot of the weed identifying photos are the same amongst all these books. So we would like to get our own photos.
As in they've copied the weeds
They've
from
just
other people.
literally copied the weeds and the text from each other. So So we are on the lookout for photos of weeds.
Weed pics.
Weed pics.
Freudian slip.
Yes. But no, it's I think.
Have you ever sent someone a dick pic, Dylan? That's an American thing.
That's already guilty. So
You?
fucking oath.
Yeah. Okay. I never have. But it's on my mind because my 12-year-old now has a mobile phone, and so I just explained to him that the risks of him sending and receiving images,
well, especially these days.
Well, I said that it's a criminal offence, and you're too pretty to go to jail, son. So yeah, so I'm going to go with Dylan has.
Yes, yeah. But again, if we're going to use the
adult
American,
to adult, it's all good.
Yeah, if we're going to use the American justice system, he's innocent until proven guilty.
If we're going to use the US justice system, I'd say he's probably past the statute of limitations.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Greg, stayed in Elizabeth for a couple nights last week. Was an interesting place. Yes, it was named after Queen Elizabeth, and they were going to make it the next big city from the city of Adelaide. Some would argue that it is a city of something else.
Yeah, that dude from St Kilda.
Yes. So Johnny is fishing.
Yeah, why are there so many people able to watch this podcast at 9 o'clock in the morning?
Well, the Masters is about to finish, so
we're going to need to work out how to do the draw before 10. So we need to work out. I should have bought my laptop. We're going to need to work out.
Right, we can work it out.
When we started it. Did we talk about it last week in the podcast?
No, I just said in the weekly cut from Friday.
Friday
last week.
Gone. So we'll go from the midnight 01 on that Friday till 10 o'clock. Get the hub numbers. Yeah. We should be able to use the random number picker because it's below 1,000 or whatever. I think the issue we ran into last time was that it was because there were so many, only did the first 1,000. And then we'll just have to work out a new system for drawing it for when we do the bulk one. So yeah, which I've got a paid version of that, but I don't have my laptop with me. So we'll work it out. Yeah. We are live.
Yeah, we live. Yeah.
You fucking idiot.
Adrian.
I've done 62 of these, man. It's like
God, this is going to be a good attempt at pronouncing this. Adrian Kazachawoski. Sorry. Good morning, gentlemen. I think that suit needs to be high-vis orange.
Oh, we should get one of them made. I was thinking about getting Emma to turn my jumpsuit into a suit.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah. I do like attention, but wearing a bright orange suit to a gather round lunch might be a little bit more than...
How many people gone, do you know?
I don't know. I know nothing about it. All I know is that... I don't even know where I'm going. I think Sila sent it to me, but it's with the... is it Adelaide Venue Management? So the people that look after the entertainment centre and the convention centre. So who knows? But they were very specific that if I didn't come, it wasn't to be like delegated to another staff member. So I'm going to guess they want the owners and which means there might be other people there that are in business in SA that would be good for me to meet.
Networking.
That's it.
What Clint does best.
Your network is your net worth.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag Instagram, hashtag, I don't know, hashtag something. Hashtag in the car with Clint. Hashtag just the tip. Yep, cool.
Fix it fingers. Bloody early start. Thanks for all the help this season, lads. Lawn never looked better,
Don't talk about that. The
especially
season's not finished.
since it was nearly dead at the start of spring.
I think my front lawn might have some kind of fungal problem.
Or a lack of nutrition.
I sprayed Money Shot on there the other day.
I wouldn't call that very
And
nutritious.
I put 3-way in there as well.
Okay.
I didn't measure, I just tipped.
Yeah. Yeah, there's obviously the sand base there requires a lot more input than...
Well, yeah, I think Money Shot weekly.
I mean, if that's all you're putting out, yeah.
Yeah. It's like everything that you don't put on Tiff Tough,
Yeah.
you put on.
Yeah, because it'll get... We did pull a lot of thatch out of that front lawn with that scarifier. That billy goat
Could have given it away.
could have...
We didn't post. We should have posted the photos of those machines and tagged him in them.
We're putting a video together for him. So, yes, Rob from Adelaide garden equipment hire. Only took 6 takes in real life.
You're so shit.
Yeah.
I've got an Instagram question. Hey team, any recommendations to eliminate lines between rolls of TIFF-Tuff that's been laid for 2 months? Tried, plays, and topsoil, but still visible. Play sand. Yeah, sunshine and water and air and food and time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you might find that you don't have them stitch in properly before September. I know that's not what you want to hear, but I have to just call it how it is.
Yep. And that's unfortunately how it is.
I just looked at, I've got a sunglass tan / grey hair situation going all at the same time. Kind of cool. Clinty Powers.
Clinty Powers.
I had lunch the other day outside in Prospect and I had the sun on this side of my head the whole time. And so I've got sunburn just on this side. It was peeling this morning. So, but sure beats getting cancer from the chemicals in sunscreen, right, Dylan?
Wild Track Weekender. Good timing. I'm just about to unleash Trojan onto my lawn.
Unleash the Trojan. That's got to be a
unleash
hashtag.
The Trojan. Dylan, we have a few comments here about the mics being quiet.
I'll just see.
I'll ask Kieran.
No, that sounds good.
Can you hear that from there?
Is that
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
fine.
my phone on full volume.
Sounds.
But like you're also 2 meters away.
Yeah, I think it sounds good. I think it's fine.
Hey, I'm an innocent.
quiet from here?
Oh my God! Oh my
You
God!
bless me with something. Money
They're
wise.
eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
facilities for
Ain't
that.
nobody got time
Wow,
for
that's a
that.
lot louder.
That is a lot
Yeah.
louder. I can tell.
Oh, Jesus. and everyone's speakers has just exploded. Well, we'll see you next week.
Do a couple more now.
Oh my God!
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Should we do this kind of testing?
Oh my God!
Should we do
louder.
this kind of test?
Louder, how's that?
Should we do this kind of testing before we start the podcast?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
We have to go
okay.
live.
Oh,
Yeah, that's better.
I feel
Alright.
like no, that was the playback of the playback. That was the mic catching it from my
Okay,
phone.
so all we have to do is do playback every time.
Riveting viewing.
Imagine being so sad that you were a fan of this podcast.
That's
So it's so quiet on here. I don't understand.
You're so shit at this.
maybe Matt's
That
help.
was an attack.
Maybe Matt's help. His offer of help with sound was needed this morning, Dylan.
Hey, I said, I don't need it. Let's do it on.
Do another one.
Why are you gay?
All right.
So quiet.
Here we
See,
go.
and now it's like quiet.
Hang on. Shh.
Why are you gay?
It's
Nah,
still really loud.
That's beaming. Oh well, I
So
suppose.
you've turned the volume down to the speaker, but not to the.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
I'm not Elon Musk.
I promise. Half a promise.
That's new. I didn't.
Yeah.
When did I get that added to my soundboard?
We're going so well too.
I would say that's a stretch.
Wyatt Reynolds, should I be getting some mini pool down heading into winter, or should I wait a few more weeks? Secondly, through winter, should I be using liquid fert? The answer to both those questions is yes. If you've got some mini pool and you want to get it down, absolutely. It's got a little bit of potassium, and it's also got a little bit of iron in it, so it's
And
still
a lot of goodness.
and a lot of goodness. And then, liquids during the cooler months because liquids are taken up much faster and more efficiently during cooler weather. So, Note Extreme, Lawnhub live at brunch. Jack Me Hoff. Building a new house, what water is better for my grass? Water softener, water filter, or rainwater?
Rainwater.
Rainwater. There you go. Well, it wasn't the worst attempt I've ever heard. Oh, thanks, Adrian. That makes me feel better for
How you said his
yeah.
Kaczynski.
Can you
Mike Wazowski.
can you like spell it out like the dictionary does?
Can you phonetically?
Is that what that word means?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember, Gawler.
Gawler Primary School.
No, not Gawler Primary School. Evanston Primary School, where Darren Lehman went.
No shit.
Mm.
Okay. We don't think that's serving your cause in any way, but
Oh, soundboard is about 5 times louder. Yeah, with someone fertilised my speakers. They're eating the dogs is gold. Jesus. Oh, here we go. Tyler Wilkinson. Hey lads, in Brisbane with roughly 60 square metres of lawn, have applied BBW and Prem. Soil is very clay heavy, not super keen to hire a corer if can avoid. Is hand aerating with a pitchfork enough? Well, it's better than nothing. And we do recommend if you can't get a core aerator in that and you have a pitchfork, absolutely. It's more of like a solid tine rather than a core, but yeah, it's definitely better than nothing. And is beneficial for the soil. So.
and your cardiovascular health.
Yes, it is very hard work. Have you got any comments there? Questions?
Just says hashtag just the tip.
God.
There was a series of just the tip on Water Pro a long time ago. I don't know if you've ever seen them. Yeah. With me giving 60-second tips on things.
I like the under $200 video. Really like that. It's come out good, Dylan.
My one with my crack.
Yeah, one with your crack. Yeah,
That's going to get some comment.
yeah,
It hasn't gone up yet. Yeah.
yeah. I think it come out well. I think that idea was nice.
The first one I recorded, I was like, yep, done. 1.5 takes. I'm just like, pew, pew. I don't know if you got that on video. I'm like, pew, 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 pew. And then Adriana and Isaac both just look at me. I'm like, I still got it.
They would have had no idea what the fuck was going on.
No. They talked to each other in Spanish and laughed and carried on. Actually, they're not meant to be doing that.
All right, so here we go. Adrian has written. I can't. No, I can't even do that.
Where are you looking? Tchaikovsky.
You're
such a dickhead.
Well, I can't read that word.
It's fucking pretty clear. Tchaikovsky.
Oh, there it is. Tchaikovsky. I'm
like the gun.
I'm self-diagnosed
Retard.
dyslexic.
Oh, yeah. D word, not R word. Cool. I called with a 19 mil. Okay, cool. We'll go back up.
Lots of changes to dogs at rentals coming up in New South Wales. I didn't know that.
What, as in they're going to like have 3-legged ones or 6-legged ones, or
Yeah, I haven't. Can you
you can only have chihuahuas?
Can you elaborate on that, Adrian? I'm actually quite interested.
I'm assuming that the residential tenancy commission, in line with the New South Wales government, have decided that they are going to allow people to ban dogs or something similar.
Other than eating
I think
the dogs.
Well, that's part of the problem in New South Wales, is that there's a low availability of property from what I'm told is student migration. So maybe there might be a connection between the dogs and the migrants.
Oh, I see. Okay, so he's gone the other way here.
Just saying.
He said, other than eating the dogs, what's a good way to prep for more dogs at properties, or are there better turf varieties for dogs?
No.
Kaiku.
Dude, I got a photo from a friend of mine. I'll show you. This is funny. So I went to school with this lady. I was going to say chick, but she's a lady. And she's like, hey, how are you? You sell lawn. You know what you're talking about. How can I fix this?
Oh, that's that. Yeah, you rip it up and put a garden in there.
Then I'm like, why? And she's like, this. And I'm like, get rid of your dog. You don't need a dog.
Well,
Look at this fucking dog. Can you see the dog?
I'm also struggling to believe that anything would really grow well in that area.
And then this is the lawn. And I just said to her, yeah, you need a kitty litter tray for your dog. And it's in shade as well. Yeah, look at the shade on it.
Yeah, no, that's real tough. Actually, now that I recognize Adrian. He did send me a long email, which thank you for that. It was about rental properties and, putting together a program.
And you didn't respond, did you?
No, I did.
Oh, good.
I said it was going to prompt you a
buy the
question in this podcast about rental properties and some little tips and tricks for maybe people that don't own their home but are living in a home but want to look after it and not break the budget. In New South Wales, obviously they've got the armyworm problem. So Adrian was talking about the celloprine, but the price to entry to celloprine for a rental, person living there is,
especially when prices for rentals is fucking ridiculous.
That's right. But I've never rented. I don't understand
because rent money is dead money.
I don't understand, the responsibility of looking after a lawn or
majority of the time you're responsible to keep things nice, right? So they would expect you to mow the lawn, but it doesn't have to be good
because armyworm, as we're seeing with this fall armyworm, is taking out lawns overnight. So you can't really, if you don't have a celloprine down, there's not really much.
Well, I'd say there's no way that there's an expectation from the owner of the house.
No, that's right. But there are funny people out there that argue the point
and say that the lawn's dead because of you.
Yeah, which I'm sure has already happened in conversations in the past couple of months, especially in those areas.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. Oh, okay. So Adrian wrote, from May 19, all rentals can have up to 4 pets, automatic approval, so landlords can't say no to dogs.
Okay. Let me tell you how this is going to go. They're going to say, hey, how you going? Yeah, good, thanks. I just want to apply for this rental. And they're like, yeah, cool. We've got a lot of people interested, so give us your applications. And then they'll be like, so do you have any pets? You're like, yeah, actually, we've got pets and pets and pets and pets. You're like, fucking see you later. And then there'll be other people that are like, I haven't put it on the form, but I can tell you right now, we will not have any pets. We will never have any pets. And here's $1,000. It may... The challenge will be is if you can apply for the property, categorically tell them that you do not have pets and then move in and put 4 pets in straight away. Because I don't know if you know this, but in South Australia at one point, and it may still be the case, if you own a property and rent it to someone, they are allowed to smoke cigarettes inside that house and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's disgusting.
That's what they choose to do. Because then where do you draw the line? Like, you have to face this way to shit.
Yeah, no,
you can't have sex.
I understand, and
civil liberty.
Morally,
it's not illegal.
Yeah, morally, I don't think that's the right thing to do. I don't think smoking in other people's cars is respectful either.
If there's kids in there, that's illegal.
That is illegal,
which is hilarious. But what about the children? What does Michael Jackson say? Have we got time?
Helen Lovejoy, someone please think of the children.
What about the children? Fuck them. Have we got time?
Not
that's a horrible
advice.
Michael Jackson joke.
Yeah,
I've heard it. I didn't make it up.
Yes, but even if you did, it's a joke. You don't really mean it. So,
well, yeah. How come it's all right for comedians to say rude things and then just put it?
Well, Isaac Butterfield would argue the opposite way when he got taken to the, what was it, the Queensland
Civil Rights Commission
tribunal for telling jokes.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean them. He is so funny. Isaac.
I have similar things. I don't have the confidence to say them. Like, I'm tempering my comedy and my language for this podcast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this level hears it all, but not with a camera. Yeah. And I think it's important that not like what they're doing in the UK where they're censoring a lot of,
people are getting arrested for posting shit on Facebook.
Yeah, which is okay, one side of the spectrum, if you're planning to, you're saying that you're going to take, terrorist action against a building or something, fair enough, but not for taking the piss out of someone.
Like calling Peter Dutton a potato.
Or Peggy Sue. Have you seen that development?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Blue-eyed Kayla Jade.
Huh?
Blue-eyed Kayla Jade. Massive TikTok sex worker.
As in she does the sexing on the TikToks?
She does.
Or she's a
she
sex
tells
worker.
her stories on TikTok. Massive following. And so she has this client that likes up the...
Yep.
And the nickname...
Up her woohoo or his woohoo?
His woohoo.
Woohoo.
And
Woohoo.
the trend I don't understand TikTok, but the comment is Peggy Sue. Like that's the hashtag.
I get it.
And it's some rich billionaire in Australia, right? And everyone's put it to saying that it might be one of the political
Well, billionaires, there's only, 1,000?
And
to be in politics, there's only one.
well, I don't know if it's a billionaire. It's an Australian billionaire. And everyone's pointing the finger at one of the candidates in the political race at the moment.
A yellow candidate, not a blue candidate. Well, he's not a billionaire. Yeah.
It's just what they're saying. Anyway, and
Jesus
then
Christ, we're going to get in trouble for this one.
no, we didn't say anything. We just are just reciprocating.
Yeah.
Or-
I'm arguing that you would want to be very careful about what you say if you can't prove it.
No, I'm just saying that's what.
Not you,
That's
her.
the movement.
But
No, she's not
interestingly-
saying it. The comments are.
Ah.
Yeah,
Well, that's just stupid.
but I'll tell you what is stupid.
That's rude. Oh, so you can just go on there and say someone sticks fucking bottles up their ass and all of a sudden it's true. Well, then Dylan sticks bottles up his ass.
Yeah, but you know what is stupid, right?
Milk bottles.
And it's stupid, but it's also smart what they did. So on the crossing of the bridge last night, you had
As in the bridge that was built that's not wide enough to get people out of the football.
which Dan Gorringe would say would get 3 people across, which is probably fair.
Hashtag Southern Expressway. Hashtag Adelaide.
There was about 6 or 8 people standing in a line as you enter from the train station side, and they were holding like little footy cards, right? Like they're in the shape of a footy, and they're handing them out, right? And it was like, I was like, oh,
This would be cool.
what was this? Right?
Oh, God, wasn't it?
No, it was worse. It was the Labor Party,
The Labor Party is worse than Christianity.
right? Federal,
Oh, yeah.
not state.
Hashtag Malinascus. We love you.
Yeah, federal.
You're such a cockroach.
And it was like, you can't trust Dutton. And I was like, well, what the fuck did we just have for the last 3 years?
Yeah.
Right? And it was like Labor Party, blah, blah, blah. And then we got to the end, the other side, and there was another allotment of people. And I was like, oh, this will be the Liberals, right? No, it was the Greens. And it was hacking again at
What were they doing? Handing out paper?
they were handing out
doesn't seem
paper.
very environmentally sustainable.
It was these cards, and it was just hanging on the Liberal Party, so the coalition. So
Yeah, but if you want, the cards can be used as a tally ho, so you can just roll a split.
yeah, that's right.
it's all
I
good.
just that's such a waste of time doing that. Like people there for the footy,
Grassroots, mate.
they're not there to fucking talk politics and shit. They're there to go to
Grassroots.
the footy. I just the footy cards were clever. That was a clever idea. But then what had the message. I just started laughing, and the guy was like, "You got a problem?" I was like,
You're going to have a fight? Is that how you're going to win an election?
"That's what."
Me punching you in the head.
I was just like, "Okay, yeah, all right."
What was that, the Greens or the Labor?
Nah, it was the Labor guy. Yeah,
Federal Labor. Labor.
federal Labor. Yeah.
I think I said last week to someone that the Liberal Party were like favourites to win the election, and they were at some point, but then apparently now the Labor Party is
Yeah,
holding.
but who are they asking? Are they asking?
I ask Sportsbet. That's the only one I would trust.
Okay.
As in, I don't care about polls. I care about what the odds are,
I
because
think
that's more accurate.
Yeah, I think Australia's got a very big decision to make on May 3rd. They really need. It's probably one that I've not like.
There'll be one Australian that is very happy. They will have won a battery operated dirt bike,
Yes.
and they might be less concerned about the election and just waiting for their dirt bike to arrive.
Yeah.
Where is the election
May 3rd.
trending? No, I'm trying to find
Oh,
the odds.
the odds. Yeah. Yeah. It's not one that I've been particularly interested in previous polls, but this one is going to be a very much so.
Australian federal politics. Here we
Interesting
go. 2 markets. 40 seats or less. That really doesn't help. I just want to know who they think.
Head to head.
Head to head. HOR. Labor total seats screen. This is not helping me at all. Also, I don't spend a lot of time in this app, so I don't know how it works. Labor 40. Yeah, so the Labor Party are paying $1.29. The Coalition are paying $3.66. Those odds were not like that.
Wow. They obviously know something.
Well, this is what I'm saying. You look at Sportsbet. Don't look at fucking like
No.
AC Nielsen.
Yeah.
We rang 4 people and asked
Yeah.
them, were they watching TV last night? Like, fuck off. But so Labor $1.09, Coalition $6.50. Fuck, it's not a bad bet.
Geelong pushed out to nearly 260 last
I'd
night
love to see
as
what
well.
the Crows are paying to win the fucking grand final now. Because once it gets to $20,
Well, the Crows are on fraud watch for Dan Does Footy now. So I think
what do you mean?
the odds will definitely blow out
what
now
the
that
fuck does that mean?
Dan Does Footy. Dan
I don't know
Gorringe.
who that is,
Yeah.
but what the fuck does they're on fraud watch, man?
Oh, so he's got this whiteboard and he's got he ranks them,
Yeah.
and the Crows have been put on fraud watch.
As in they're frauds.
Yeah, like they're paying
$12.
they tugged on your heartstrings, and now
So that loss last night only pushed them out $1 because they were paying 11 before
Yeah.
that, and Geelong are paying 10. Is Geelong a good chance at $10?
I mean, if they can
As good as any.
if they can restrict teams like they did in the last half,
Well, the only odds that are better are Hawthorn, Brisbane. Hawthorn. I thought Hawthorn were fucked.
no, Hockball's on fire, mate.
They're paying $6.
Be a good game this Sunday at the Oval.
What's wrong with West Coast Eagles?
They're just in another rebuild
Yeah.
phase. They'll be all right in 3 years again.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Nothing to stress there.
Okay. North Melbourne have just continuously been
North
in a rebuild
Melbourne-
phase for 20 years.
Yes, yeah. Since the when was their last premiership? 99. Yeah.
Port Power.
Port Power. They've got a big game this week.
So if they don't win, Hinkley will finish the year. They've pretty much
Yeah,
made it very clear.
I'm pretty sure that was the decision
it.
that Carr will take over at the end of the year.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I reckon that's because they know that they're just going to be shit all year anyway. So it just takes pressure off Carr.
Yeah, but maybe I don't really think that's fair for Hinkley to.
Who gives a fuck?
to-
He's
no,
a big boy.
I know he's a big boy,
He
but
gets paid. What do we get paid? $700,000 a year?
him,
Yeah, 500.
I don't know what
I think
coaches
the
get paid.
highest, like Clarkson was on something like 7. I think a mil would be the highest. I don't know. Are there salary caps? For
Well, I was
coaches?
going to say, does the coach's salary cap fall apart of the
Of the
player's
teams.
salary cap? Yeah, that'd be interesting. I actually don't know the answer to that question.
I thought you were an AFL fan.
I'm an AFL fan, but I don't.
Since Spicy Cough slashed the soft cap spending in football departments, coaching panels have been paid less for more work. The average assistant coach is on 180 in 2024, while development coaches are on 125.
That's still pretty good to travel Australia.
Well, the thing is, it depends if you want to travel Australia, and it's funny that you say that because people wear that as like you get to travel the world, but you're also that means and that's on a different job. You're also not with your family.
No, you're not. I understand that, but I think traveling the world's a bit different than traveling Australia in terms of turnaround times to come back.
Can you go into and find the first and last number of Thingo? Do you know what I'm talking about? The giveaway. I'm going to go drain the main vein.
Drain the main vein. God, we really got talking a lot there, didn't we, Dylan? Yeah.
I only have to leave the camera on you. I'm gonna
Oh, you're going to go drain the main vein. So it's just me. You're going to leave me unattended.
You got it.
Jeez. Jeez Louise. All right, add filter. Date. Custom. Starting. Friday the 4th. Friday the 4th. Cool. And then do the oldest. All right. So we have got, we just put this in. Here we go. So we're going from April 4th being Saturday from midnight is hub 111534. 111534. And then if we clear that and we go to today and we'll wait for the boss man to come back. We'll go back to restream in case. VJ reckons that Big Ken gets paid $900K a year.
Yeah, I thought that'd be about right. Means Josh Carr's about to go from 180 900.
Oh,
they won't give
nah, wouldn't be a direct replacement. I think Ken's done his.
He earned his stripes.
He earned his stripes as much as the Port Adelaide supporters were hating on him again last week. Give him a break. All right, so how are we going to do this?
I'm going to try and do it on my phone.
Okay. So we've got 1 more minute. We'll wait and see if any more orders come in. 1 more minute.
What's the first number?
Hub 111
Yep.
534. And this is for the ultimate mow kit. So you get a mower, snippy, and a blowy. And 2 batteries and
you
a
trim
charger.
it, blow it, and then snip it. Everything a young man needs in life. 111. Is the next one 111 or 112?
Be 112. Oh, it's over 1,000.
Really? I'm just using Google random number picker, so
Yeah, because
that's pretty much unlimited.
we went back to Friday the 4th of April to today, 7 days,
That's right. The maths checks out.
to 112
Yep.
709.
So I've got it on my phone. Can you see it? Yeah. So this will be. I'm not on a mic now.
Just speak up a little bit louder.
So this will be for.
That is a terrible time.
What happened? Dylan's just getting a new battery for the camera for those of you playing at home.
I think Dylan's back on probation.
I can't charge while you
What's below probation? Reapply.
Reapply or wage subsidy?
Ooh, get some government money
Yeah.
for this one.
Bit like we did with Party Old Senior.
So we're doing a random number picker on Google to choose the hub number that wins this Greenworks Mow Blow snip clip pack.
I'll get the actual.
It's worth $1,500 on retail. We will ship it directly to your door. And if you do win, you will still be eligible to win the battery-operated moto bike that we will be drawing on the day before our federal election.
That thing looks fucking nuts too, by
I want
the
to
way.
get one and just book around on it beforehand, but I also don't want to spend the money on two.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Okay, so it's the Lawnmower Ultimate Startup Kit, valued at $1,500. So you get a blower, snippy, lawnmower, 2 batteries, and a charger. All thanks to Greenworks.
Delivered to your door.
Yes.
Please hold.
Yes.
We're ready? 111534 to 112709. Yeah. Don't have to give away two. The winner is 112186.
112 186.
186. 112186. Just in case you're the D word and the R word.
Congratulations, Trent from
Punch bowl.
Mower, Queensland. It's his 5th order. And this decides to load. Yep, it's his 5th order. And
Feels very anticlimactic. Do you want me to just sing or something?
no, he purchased a bottle of Spartan for that particular order, but has been a very consistent customer since 2024.
For those of you that have traditionally bought Spartan, you no longer need to do that. We now have Barricade available in a 250ml bottle, so lower cost to you, especially considering Spartan covers so much.
Yep, a bit like the cost to entry. 250 mils are much more home friendly size. Of course, we'll continue to stock and sell the 500 mil, but we've had really good reception with the 250 mil, which is good. So
I would be very confident we've sold more than anyone in the country.
by absolute country mile. Yeah.
How long's the country mile, Dylan? It sounds like a way. Have you seen that page? Like Americans will use anything but the metric system.
Yeah, and there's like 24 dicks on the roof in the timber.
What is it? If there was 100 dicks in the room, how many would you choke on?
Yeah. I'll probably get through 6, and then and then that's my limit.
None.
It's because you're a pro. Yeah. So congratulations, Trent. You have won a Lawnmower Ultimate Startup Kit. We'll be in contact.
We've got his address. We'll just send it.
Yes, but it's also nice to let people know.
Oh yeah, because no one watches the podcast, so then they win. He might not have even known he was in the draw. We haven't really promoted it very well. It's about to get promoted very heavily. So
has he got a mobile? He's got a mobile number there, so I'll call him after.
And be like, "Who is this?" And you say, "It's AJ." Did anyone ever call you AJ?
Nah.
Do you like
really.
that? Because I reckon I'm going to start calling you AJ. For
I mean,
if
I love it. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. No, it's just not something that people call me, if I'm being honest.
ass jockey,
So,
anal jabber. There's a lot of them.
not that there's anything wrong with that. It's 2025. People can do and be what they want, except in America.
Tag bottle rockets.
The rip starter. The old crazy Steve rip starter. Did you ever watch the Big Les show? That'd be something that you really wouldn't have time. You wouldn't have.
Dude, I haven't seen Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I haven't seen Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Jack asked me if we can watch it last night. He's like, "Can we watch Breaking Bad?" I'm like, I don't think so. I don't know. Can he watch Breaking Bad as a 12-year-old? Yeah, okay. Probably.
It's just like crime.
Just take a gummy each and yeah. Well, he plays GTA 6. Oh yeah, we got mowers before GTA 6 kind of thing. Yeah.
We got so many things before GTA 6.
AI. We got AI before. Yeah, we brought back animals from extinction before GTA 6.
The game must be fucking humongous, surely. That's about 3 million. That's about 3 million Australian. Yeah. Nah, they got up the
$500,000 New Zealand pesos.
The AUD got up to 62 cents yesterday. So,
dude, I'm looking at it through a different lens. Yesterday, when I saw that our dollar was at 59, that they were putting in tariffs from other countries, and Australia don't have one. I was like, this is now the time for us to start selling Lawnhub in the US. So I rang my lawyer and said, hey, what do you know about like us punching stock in from here without doing all of our legislative requirements there? And he's like, that's outside my pay grade, dude. That's a question for a lawyer that doesn't live in South Australia. I'm like, huh. So now I'm having like my questions are now, he goes, you want to talk to one of the big four kind of thing. He's like, that you need to talk to an international. I'm like, oh, that's a lot of money. That's a fucking $1,000 an hour to talk to someone if they answer the phone.
Yeah.
But you think about it, like they can buy Australian made, no tariff. So we could punch, our products in there, and then obviously the freight cost would be covered by the perceived value difference in currency change. So that's what I was working on yesterday afternoon, among other things.
Nate Extreme has written, wouldn't be letting a 12-year-old watch Breaking Bad, but Breaking Bad is goated. So,
okay. How long should I wait? 2 years?
Maybe 14.
Yeah. These kids all have porn on their phones now, right?
Well, that's kind of what I was like,
yeah.
I suppose both those topics aren't real, though.
Porn and drugs,
and Breaking Bad. That's a show, although it probably perceives what happens in real life.
Well, to be fair, a lot of the shit that happens in the religious world is pretty bad, and kids are allowed to go to church. I don't think they should. Anyway.
Adrian's written, BRB, got to go judge people for a living. Does winter impact lawn establishment times? 6 months over winter or wait longer? It will impact establishment time.
Got to go judge people for a living.
Yeah. I think he's, from memory, a property manager.
So he's the one that's letting dogs in the house.
I don't think him personally, but...
They're eating the dogs.
They're eating the dogs.
I can go through Podium and answer questions if you ask you questions if you want.
Well, there's no one here, so...
All right, let's go.
So got any questions?
This is from CJ. What is the mowing around NSFW advice? Can I mow then spray or spray then mow? How long after?
4 days either side. So don't mow 4 days before and don't mow 4 days after applying NSFW. I believe that is on page 3 or 4 of the booklet.
I will answer these while we're doing it. Oh, yeah, we got to do that as well. I'll do that. 4 days either side is the recommendation. So the reason that is, for anyone listening, for the one of you that's out there listening, is because the herbicide needs to stick to the leaf, and if you mow the leaf off, then it can't stick to it, of the weed. 4 days either side is recommended. All right, so I'm going to go to Instagram, look at this graph. So obviously,
Look at this graph.
too early. I just didn't sing it. How's this fuckhead? Like, let the cricketer ask a question. Like, fuck off.
Who's that? Sorry.
So Brian Thompson was downstairs.
Taylor.
Brian Taylor was downstairs with Callum Ferguson, and they were asking questions. And he's like, "Oh, no, here, let the cricketer ask a question." It's like, fuck off. What the fuck's that got to do with anything? All right.
I do love the emotion that Brian Taylor gives when he commentates, especially in that 2000 and was it the 2016
Their question thing
grand final?
is not there. No, there's only one slide, so it obviously has been up for longer than 24 hours. 3 hamburgers.
Was it it was the Bullies in 2016.
It's down the bottom. And then go to where? I know in archive.
Let's have a look.
Oh, so go to our profile. That's a different conversation. Now there's hamburgers. Yep, cool. Archive, cool. Got it. All right, got it. There's only 3.
3? No,
Oh, they're live archives. Shut up, Jonesy.
sorry, I'm interrupting. I'm doing a you, sorry.
Oh, that was really funny. You fucking idiots.
Oh.
Here we go. All right. Here is a question from Very Clint. Would Danger have sealed a premiership if he stayed at the Crows?
Potentially. I mean, that 2017, potentially. But again, Crows were out coached on that day as well. So, one person doesn't make a team, but
That does not stand true in the NBA. All right. The Fog Dog. If I missed day 11 with NSFW,
is it the Fog Dog?
it's the _Fog Dog.
Like Fog Dog?
FOGDOG. Fog Dog.
Like, Dylan, do we think that's Darcy Fogarty? I don't know.
How the fuck am I supposed to know?
Nah, his name on Insta wouldn't be the Fog Dog, would it? Let's have a look.
His Instagram picture, from what I can see, is him with a attractive young lady in a wedding dress standing next to a light grey to beige Volkswagen. What are those things called? Venga bus.
Here we go. Oh, no, it's not.
All right, so do you want to stop worrying
Yeah.
about you cock riding Crows players, and I will...
Yeah, go.
Okay, cool. If I missed day 11 with NSFW,
Mhm.
is it still as effective day 15?
Yes.
Missed due to waiting for my news. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
that's fine. Yeah,
Yep.
no, that's completely fine.
It's a recommendation, not a mandate.
Yes.
Shannon Cogan. Nah. Doesn't play for NBL, NBA. Nah, cool. All right.
I'm sorry.
In the colder states, what to apply within the next month moving into winter?
Yep. So premature. If you haven't got at least one down, get it down. We try and aim for 2, but it's maybe a little bit too late pushing it for 2 applications now, given the time of the month and going into the cooler months. And then, just hit it up with some liquids. 3-way, roots, money shot, get that colour into it, get the strength and resilience into the plant. And, we'll try and beat that colour curve.
Cam Doherty, 93.
Doherty.
Yep.
Not Xavier Doherty.
Nah. Nah, cool.
Cool.
Hey, legends, you boys going to gather round? Question mark.
Yep, went last night. Couldn't get tickets for really want to go to the Barossa game.
Should have
But
told me I would have probably got you tickets.
sorry, couldn't get. It was sold out. So which is great
Doesn't
to
mean
see.
you can't get tickets.
No, I know that, but
Just means you need to find someone who cares more about money than they do going to the football.
There was actually people at the footy last night with cardboard signs saying we'll pay money for tickets for
Anything.
Anything, yeah, because a lot of them are, or they're all sold out. So
I can guarantee you those signs will not be flown to New Tasmania.
no.
New Hobart. Yeah.
New Bart.
New Bart, no Bart, yeah, but no Bart. They could get them to do the ads. Yeah, but no Bart. Come to Hobart.
Jesus.
I just don't see it working.
We don't have the venues for it.
No,
No, but we didn't either. We built them, but they don't have the weather for it. They don't have the
well, Bellerive,
additional
or
tourist
whatever it's called.
destinations. They
Oh, I
probably
mean,
don't have the accommodation for it.
They got the one where they've got
Do they have a
stadiums,
hotel?
but I think they got 3. Yeah, might have a lot of houseboats maybe in the dock there in the Hobart,
I've been there.
in the Hobart port.
It was cold,
Mm.
and all you do is eat food and drink wine.
It's
and
it's
look
a
at
nice,
paintings.
it's an aesthetically pleasing place. It looks very nice.
But you can look at that on the internet.
You
Just look at the
can
photo.
look at anything on the internet.
That's what I mean. So just shut up and go to work. That's why we don't need public holidays. Everyone needs to get the fuck over it. All right. Jason Cremore Designs. I'm guessing didn't play AFL because Jason does designs. Greater than 850 mil rain in March in southeast fucking Queensland.
How many mils, sorry?
Greater than 850 mil.
Jesus Christ.
Should I apply a Celiprin and fertilizer again? As in, did the rain send my Celiprin to China?
Jesus Christ. That'd be worth, as long as the soil's not saturated or soaked. Yeah, that's a lot of water passing through the soil. That's definitely worth a reapplication in my opinion. There will probably still be some residual activity left, but
A couple of meters deep.
but just not as efficient as maybe what it should be. So
All right. Our Baxco home Waterford's response is had army grubs and hit it with the army worm battle pack. How long till it will come good? Ugh, that's it.
yeah, it all depends on the damage, the weather. There's so many variables. So, I've had a couple of people email in and say they've had full recovery in about 3 to 4 weeks, but some are taking months. It's all just going to depend on the damage. And how stressed the lawn become during that period.
There's another question here from Very Clint. Is the AFL rigged?
Well, it was last Saturday, so
I got a question from Mitch Might. What do I do with my excess got laid? Can I use it on an established lawn?
absolutely. It's probably, if you're going to get into the nitty gritties, and you're going to be one of those people that sit on Facebook forums all the time and say, you don't need high end, you don't need this, you don't need that. Got laid's probably the perfect balanced fertilizer for a majority of lawns around the country. I've spoken about it previously, but at Dad's house for a whole season, all I used was got laid, and we had fantastic results. So yeah, absolutely, go
Did
for
anyone
it.
get laid?
Maybe a few bugs on the lawn.
Nice. Bugs making bugs. I don't have any more questions on Instagram because I had to leave Instagram to go to Instagram to find the questions from Instagram.
That's okay. I can go back there because there was a few, wasn't there?
Yeah, but no, these ones, like on the lives, they're not there.
Oh, but all the
If
group,
you had it open, Yep.
all the group one, like the one from the story.
they're all dealt with. I've just
They're all
finished
dealt
them.
with. Oh, sick, mate.
I could eat, hey. I wonder what the food's going to be today. I bet it's alternate drop and I get fucking chicken and then I have to walk out.
Just say you're allergic.
Celeste would have done that already, I hope. So that when they do the dietary requirements, mine can only eat red meat. And it fucks the table because they come out and give me that first and then it all starts from me.
Yeah. Well, I think, yeah. It's just, and then you got, young people standing there with plates and going, that's not what the sheet said in behind. Oh, fuck. Josh Knott, can you tank mix a Saliprin and Barricade? You 100% can. And you can also add wet to that mix, and you've got an ultimate mix. Damien J. Crows wanted to keep the man, but listened to Clint's no dry humping rule. That is, yes, they did not man on. When they did man on, Geelong coughed up the footy, but yeah, so it's very true, Damien. Tim Me, hello fellas. Been a while since I've caught a live stream.
So he's able to catch the morning ones.
There's a few people that have been able to catch this one, which is good. Been watching them back though. How do I combat ERI in my cooch? Been applying Impala and Tribeca with no effect. Yeah, ERI, I had a conversation with
Do
a...
you want to explain what ERI is for people?
I
that don't
can't
know?
pronounce it, but I'll...
Just say what it is.
It's,
What is it?
It's a... I don't want to... let me explain it properly. So ERI...
No certificate for you.
That's correct.
I'll just play some
Yeah,
soundboards
so-
while you're doing that.
Okay, so I'm really going to fuck this up, but it's
Like your education.
ectotropic root infecting fungi. So it's a root infecting fungi. So
Sounds like something you'd get from bottle rockets.
yeah, it's a very aggressive disease in turf that can lead to spring dead spot, take all patch, cooch grass decline. So if chemical options, if it's not getting worse but it's staying the same, that's a good thing. It's when it gets worse is when it's not. So the next stage is cultural practices like scarifying and coring those areas, removing as much of the material as possible.
Taking the lawn to church on Sundays.
Taking the lawn to church on Sundays. It's very, we had a really bad patch of ERI, brown patch here in South Australia this time last year. I had it, Matt had it, old man had it.
I probably had it and just didn't know.
You probably had it. That's probably why you're struggling for so long. The golf courses here in Adelaide also had it. I was having a really good conversation with a super about it here in Adelaide, and he's just fucked. And the weather that we've had this week now followed up the back end week because the planes in the sky and, not financial advice. It's just going to really fluctuate those conditions in the soil. So, cultural practices like scarifying and coring.
You definitely could plan to have a wedding on the gather round weekend or live golf weekend,
Yes.
and you are guaranteed to have good weather.
Yeah.
If anyone's looking at that. So let's just send me that. It's an extract from my RSVP to today's lunch. In relation to his dietary requirements, Clint only eats red meat.
That's funny. It's good. Good. Tim, I wish you luck on your battles, and I hope, scarifying is always a good. It's obviously at this time of year it's difficult to do that because, we're leading into the cooler months, and depending on where you are, you may not have much of a turnaround time for push full recovery. Then that would also open up weed pressure. If it's not getting worse but it's staying the same, that's almost a good thing. So
Why were our sales so strong this morning?
I don't know.
Do you ever look at it? Like we're a fucking massive.
It
We're
was
still ahead as well. We're up 40% on yesterday at like 9. Yeah. And conversion rate was over 4%. Like usually that only happens because something gets sent out or someone says something. I wonder if one of our friends in the media shared something. Doesn't look like it. Wonder if there'll be any AFL guys at the lunch today talking on stage about how it's a game of two halves and, everyone has to play their role and, it's a team sport.
It's true. Everything you said there's true.
Let's come up with some new ones.
It's
Maybe I should
cliche as fuck.
get
but it's
fucking
true.
Chat GPT to come up with like 10 things that AFL players can say at the end of a game that we haven't heard before. Defensive pressure.
Defensive pressure. Goal side at the
Going to
ruck
move
contest.
the ball around,
Don't let your opponent get goal side of at the ruck contest. Yeah.
Fuck bitches, get money.
Yeah. Nate Extreme. Thoughts on using things like dynamic lifter to fert lawns? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's got a lot of
Cadmium and mercury and arsenic in it.
it's got a lot of organics in it, which if your soil is lacking is always a good thing. Bearded Sith, Jonesy, I can't pronounce it. Clint, just say it. Yeah. I just don't want to get it wrong, because one of our topics that we were talking about upset a lot of people. Remember when we talked about Santa Ana being the GOAT?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember that guy was really angry at us that time.
The guy that owns the breeder's rights to Tiff Tuff? Or?
Nah, just a superintendent telling us that we don't know what we're talking about.
Well, we don't know what we're talking about.
No, we don't.
Maybe
but
don't watch the podcast.
He was in a different state, and we were talking specifically.
Incoherence.
We were talking specifically about our climate, and he just
What's his goat? Crabgrass?
Tiff Tuff.
Carpet grass? Paspalum.
Yeah, the old Paspalum. Loves it.
Tough. I don't know. I hope that I'm wrong, but I just don't know if Tiff Tough should be used for high use sporting grounds.
I mean, we'll get 2 games of footy on the weekend. We'll see how it goes, and then it's obviously going to have the Barossa season to deal with it. It's going to be by now. It's going to obviously be the best footy in the Barossa League, given the
It's the only one that's got drainage, irrigation, regular mowing, fertiliser regime, fertiliser injection.
Yes.
A fence.
Yes.
Looking forward to seeing people take their dogs out there and take a shit on it because it's a public.
Yeah, happens. But yeah, it's so on a Saturday, for example, it's going to have under 13s, 15s, 17s, Bs and As. So it's going to have 5 games of footy on it every 2 weeks, plus the training during the week. So it'd be interesting to see how it holds up. Obviously, it's got the rye in it at the moment. So
I actually believe, and there's no science behind this, but I believe that rye has something that it does that stops Tiff Tough from performing.
there is science behind that.
There you go. I know what I'm talking about. Fuck you.
Yeah. And endophytes. But endophytes don't release until the plant is mature enough. So, yeah, it might not happen right now, but that's why it's so difficult to get rid of as well. So, but yeah, we'll just wait to see how we go at the front. I do have a feeling that fucking Mary Magpie right now, that piping shrike's having a go at the seed. Yeah, fuck off. Yeah.
What's the legalities with shooting them? They're like a protected species.
I think Bank SA might have something to say about it though if you start shooting their mascot. But
I don't know. I reckon there's people that like try to board whaling ships that might say stuff before Bank SA. But if they're all is it whaling season at the moment? If they're all busy, we can shoot the birds, right? No, we'll get snakes. Snakes can eat the birds.
Well, we had that big brownie out here at the start of the season. There's foxes out here.
Yeah, perfect. The foxes will eat the birds. Then we just have to introduce something to kill the foxes.
Massive rabbits and hares too.
Like one of those, what are these guys, those shit cunts, fucking white settler. Just keep introducing species until it sorts itself out. What can you bring in to kill the foxes?
Shooters.
Disease.
I'm not sure about that.
Do they have a natural predator? They don't, do they?
Foxes, no. No.
Spicy cough? You reckon like spicy fox cough?
Or like the carp.
That sounds like a good
carp
name for
herpes or whatever it is.
Bar.
The carp disease
herpes
that they're looking to release into the
This
Murray.
isn't lawn related, but how's those kids getting fucking yelled at by those people down at West Lakes?
Yeah.
There's a fishing comp there this weekend.
There is. How fucking good of Wreck Fish, SA. Massive shout out to those guys for organising that event. That is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's a
it's
great
hilarious.
response.
Yeah. So these kids were fishing in a side lake of West Lakes.
Which is public
area. It's not illegal to fish there. No issues. Residents have gotten pissed off, put signs on their fences, gone out there, roughed these kids up somewhat, not aggressively, but like physically moved them. You can't do this. The kids filmed it.
And verbal, very verbal.
Yeah, they were very verbal. And the kids were 13.
Yeah, 13. I think one of the rods was snapped as well.
Yeah. And so it was all on TV, hit the news, which is why you wouldn't know about it because, you've got a brain and you don't watch the news. And then I saw it because Jai posted it on Facebook and I was like, fuck me, man. I got to not get involved in these things, but this has got me wanting to go buy rods and just sit there
all
and
day.
Pay people to fish there. And just fucking throw cockle shells over their fence and shit, just push it.
Yeah, obviously there's always two sides to a story.
There's actually 3.
Yeah.
Because both
is.
sides there's the lie, and what actually happened.
Yeah, and if you look at it through the lens of, both of them, the residents are obviously fed up with, that palm tree being damaged and rubbish being left behind. The rubbish being left behind by fishermen and fisher ladies is disgusting and unacceptable. You take it to the fishing site, you take it from the fishing site and some.
And you don't take anything else from the fishing.
Yeah, that's right. And that is so important. That's not just with fishing, but that's with everything in life. You want to leave something better than you found it. But in the camping, the fishing, the full driving, that sort of area, the hunting, is so important that you don't ruin it. So,
because there will be a point where it will be banned.
Correct. And it's not
fair.
But
those kids weren't doing anything wrong.
No, and that's right. So
we don't know that.
We don't know that, but it is alleged that all they were doing is they jumped from the side to get to the island in the middle.
Okay, parkour,
and we're fishing.
Parkour. You seen that?
And then, if the residents were fed up with the rubbish, I can understand the upsetness around it, but the 13-year-old kids were not
We think
what should have copped the brunt, especially in a public place.
Well, if they wanted attention, they've got it now.
Saying that there's no fishing, it's banned, it's not allowed. That's obviously lying from.
That sounds like the builders at the end of King William Street, Cape Town, putting up signs saying this parking's only for us.
This is a park. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's phenomenal by Rec Fish SA. Absolutely great to obviously get on board and organise that. So
the lady that I see for my mental health has suggested that maybe I don't get involved in all causes and that I'm not God, so I'm not going down there and fishing on the weekends.
It's going to be packed. It's going to be so good. That wouldn't surprise me if there's some form of not security but police presence.
If I was a young entrepreneurial type, I would be down there selling bait, food, coffee, whatever is required.
VJ, Crows have a history of letting good players go. Jack Gunston was another one. McGovern was another one. Lever.
Letting them go is different to letting them go, though, right? Like,
well, they were all from Melbourne
because
so
Danger was from there, and he wanted to go back.
He wanted to go back. Yeah, so and that sort of hones back to your comment around the cricket, keeping people in your state, and not tempting them to go elsewhere. Because Victorians have a very strong football culture. South Australians have a really strong football culture. So, if you're...
Tasmanians don't. So there's probably no need to have the gather round.
If you have,
you can use this, Mally. I'll send you the clip.
Good players in your state and you wish to keep them there, they're going to more than likely want to stay in their home state anyway. So... I think the Crows in the last few years
it would be frustrating for clubs because these kids would do anything short of sucking an end to get a game in the AFL. But as soon as they get the chance, they're like, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And that loyalty is not necessarily reciprocated. And I get it. It's a business now.
Yeah, it is.
You got paid. You played your year.
Yeah. And
you dobbed some nuts. Is that how you say it?
Yeah. I suppose back what I was saying, you look through both lenses, that's 100%. They're making a decision for themselves and their family. And there's, in a corporate world, no one will blink an eye. But, in a sporting world, it's...
Well, there's a lot of passion. And I think it's part of the reason why one of the reasons I was thinking about this, I don't know if I said it to you, but one of the reasons why I don't support teams is why I don't care about my dog, because I don't want to deal with the pain that I see people go through when they lose. Mm-hmm. So it's easier just not to have a team. Yeah.
And a lot of people might not actually remember this as much because, Dangerfield, when he left the Crows to go to Geelong, he was such a big presence for kids here in South Australia. So all these kids had 36 on there, or 32 on their back, sorry.
Did he play 32, did he?
I thought he was 30. Was he 32 at the Crows or 36?
That's Rashudo's number, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe Rashudo gave it to him. So who's running? Is that Fogarty's number now?
Yes.
Fuck, I'm amazing. I got no idea about this shit. All I know is the big dog, number 13, Mustache Man. Was the only one that talks to me.
Yeah, so he was 30. Yeah, so he played 152 games in number 32 at the Crows, Patrick Dangerfield.
So they would have identified him as the future, and that's why Rashudo would have that's why he would have got that number.
And one of the questions in his press conference was like, and I remember this comment because I never thought of this until the reporter said it, like, what are you going to say to those kids that have 32 on the back of their Crows Guernsey that, they've idolised you for the past, however many years?
Was it fuck SA get money?
Well, I think his response was remorseful. Like, it's like,
he's a good dude.
He is a good dude. Yeah.
He was talking this morning on TV and really highlighting how irresponsible it was of that spastic from St Kilda to talk negatively about South Australia and how he hates like that. I'm not a big fan of like publicly stoning people, but fuck this dude. Like, he needs to get like really unsettled during whatever game he plays. Not financial advice. But Danger was like, there's so much more to South Australia. And even like the automatic answers of just wineries and that, there's so much more than that.
Yeah.
So basic.
Mm.
Yeah. But
Lawnhub's here.
I'm going to take a wild punt and say that Tasmanians might say the same thing about Tasmania. And I am not looking for a turf war with Tasmania, but I'm happy to have one with Victoria.
Yeah. Well, you know, the West End had all those years ago about taking the border back. You know, that it's always going to be a fucking talking point. Anyway, back what we were saying. It is a lot more, I suppose, expected and accepted now that, you know, players move clubs, especially with the free agency rule and stuff like that. I think it is good because it gives players an opportunity that may not have been able to have an opportunity previously. So, you know, you might be the 25th or 26th best player. Someone moves, you know, a whole structure moves. Now that player comes in. But Peter said to AFL fuckers use the two halves mumbo jumbo.
Sorry, ask that question again. Do AFL fuckers use the too hard mumbo jumbo?
Two halves mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Well, the footy last night was a game of two halves, so
They all are. Yeah, I'm still I'm starting to think that AFL balls can't be kicked straight,
no, they can.
but not consistently.
You should skill it. It's a skill thing.
Yeah. But these are the best players in the country.
I know, and you know what? I actually said that. I said that to Angel last night.
Is there a point where you go, no, it's actually not a skill thing? No one can kick it. The ones that do kick it straight hit it luckily, and that any of us, given the time in front of goal, would get 1 in 10.
Yeah. There was a few contests last night where I thought that's really fucking B grade football effort, and like these are the best guys in the world playing. Well, some would argue maybe not in the world because AFL is just in Australia, but
Well, they would be the best in the world. That's how the World Series occurs in America.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, you know the AFL. These are the top players of the AFL, and they're making such simple skill errors that, you know, B grade footy players make on a Saturday afternoon. It's just pressure, the quickness of the speed.
I saw the dude. There's a dude that's like on TikTok that's got a pretty decent following that plays like state league, got a massive mullet, spiky hair.
Prime Train.
And he was being asked why he'd never played AFL, and he was explaining that the difference between AFL and the rest of the leagues is like a big gap.
Oh, it's
And he
night and
goes,
day.
Dudes
Yeah.
come down from AFL and play in his league, and they just like destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, it's just different. And that, I mean, but the thing is, when you're standing in front of the goal and there's no defender coming at you, you got a free kick.
Correct. Yeah. Prime Train, he goes around to all the states and plays football for different clubs and stuff. And I think he copped a lot of shit for what he did, but
Moving around.
just, you know, promoting
videos.
the game, and, you know, he's a bit of a pretty boy, but
It's so short-sighted though. Like,
it 100% is.
Like-
Yeah, he's you know, he goes to a local football club in you know, country Victoria, and he's got 300 kids come out to see him.
right.
And, you know, that's what it's
well,
about.
the thing is that AFL as a sport is in quite a luxurious position because there's such a support nationally, somewhat, not nationally, but somewhat nationally. You look at fringe sports like softball, baseball, American football, they can't get funding to do anything. They don't have nice change rooms. They don't have good club rooms. They actually have to share resources. So like the baseball field at Payneham that East Torrens play on becomes a lacrosse field in the off season. Like it's not their field. AFL, the more eyes that are on it, the more money that comes into it. So anyone that's playing for a club that's actually been critical of him coming and doing that's a fucking idiot. Because your club may get a grant because it sits higher on the list of politicians' concerns because there's more voters that are interested in that sport than other sports. Like it's just, yeah. Should I announce my political aspirations now?
The Clint party.
Yeah. Don't write it in capitals.
Because Jason Ackermanis did it in 2010 where he came out and played for Gawler Central.
Yep.
He was doing his rounds around the country, and he'd play one game for a club, and he put on like a showman's night afterwards. You know, the Gawler Central that year were really struggling as a club. You know, they were struggling to get fans to games. You know, like thousands came out for that game. They had the sportsman's night as a sell. This is those, you know, the eyes on footy, bring people into the bar.
I still think
you know?
there's a place for us to start Lawnhub T10.
Absolutely there is.
What else do we have? Long Drive, Lawnhub T10. Just need some money and an airline strip. Do you? I wonder what it would cost to buy the Gawler Glider Club land. Do you reckon that would be owned privately?
I know that they've got a Lawnhub sign there on their runway.
They do?
Yeah.
Why?
The guy there's a massive Lawnhub fan and started using his own products out there, and he reached out and
At the Glider Club?
Yeah, so
What the fuck?
Yeah, we sent him a bag of Trojan because it just covered the whole area,
Yeah.
and yeah, he loves it. Yeah,
Yeah, because if we could buy an airport,
and I think that's really important because
that's where we could do it. I've been trying to work out, and this is like kind of a private goal, but let's share it. I want to buy the Adelaide Giants baseball team, but move them back from the beach.
moving back from the beach
Because they're at West Beach. It's fucked. Because you have to drive.
But that's where all the fields are.
That's
though,
my
aren't they?
problem.
Yeah.
I need to find a place.
Weren't they at
to
Norwood
build
for a little bit?
Yes, they
Yeah.
were. I need to find a place to build a stadium, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll buy Parafield Airport, right?
That's very ambitious.
And on
but-
the other side of it, in the back corner, build a fucking baseball stadium, and just play games when like at night when planes aren't flying. Not that anyone's going to hit a dinger out and fucking take out a plane, but
you never know. Strange things have happened.
my son might.
Mm.
But yeah, I just think, that's one of my goals now. Buy the Adelaide Giants baseball team and move them away from West Beach because I don't like driving down there. I want it to be closer to my house. I could just buy a house closer to the club, but I think they just need some love. I think the baseball's such a popular sport worldwide. It just doesn't have the light shine.
It is a good sport to
Once you
watch.
understand it,
Yeah.
it's fucking sick. And I think that's the same with rugby union. Once you understand all the rules and why that happened and why they're trying to kick it out, it makes more sense. So I don't know if you'll ever get that with cricket, but you know. I'm joking. I love Alex Carey. He's my friend. I should have messaged him about that win.
Savros. I live in Cape Town. I'm assuming South Africa. If that is, that's great reach. Thank you, Savros. I've got a huge problem with mole crickets. I use insecticides, no help. Have you heard of nematodes or stenum? I cannot pronounce that as a solution. Sounds pretty good.
You might have to say it with a South African accent.
Steinermer.
I don't. No, that's American. You're trying to be American.
I don't know. Savros. Is there a Cape Town in Australia?
Assume that he's in South Africa.
Okay. Do you have access to other products that you've used? Have the products that you have used have fipronil in them? Because fipronil is very effective against mole crickets. The nematodes style solution can be beneficial depending on many things, how deep the mole crickets are, how aggressive they are, and depending on, this is going to sound shit. Yeah, he's in South Africa. Yes. And yeah, so South Africa.
South Africa. South Africa. Yeah.
Savros. The products that you used that you didn't have any luck with, did they have fipronil in them? And I don't know if fipronil is available in South Africa.
V unit 469. Turn the volume up. I'm on max and I can't hear. That's Dylan's fault.
But I think the treatment that he's talking about is releasing nematodes into the soil to
eat the mole crickets.
Yes, to attack the mole crickets. Yeah,
and then you get snakes to eat the.
So
nematodes.
actually,
What's a nematode? As in a toad?
No. It's just like a little. They're smaller than that. Is
it a frog?
No. It's like bacteria. It's like bacteria.
Oh, yeah. This is a dangerous game.
Yeah.
I do have some questions. Is this even my handle? I've got your message. We'll answer it in a sec. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah. Did you? I don't know if fipronil's available in South Africa. And VJ just wrote, Jesus, there is no Cape Town in Australia. Yeah, but you never know. Like there could be a little town in outback Queensland.
Might be a fringe group of people with coloured hair that have lobbied the government to change the name back to Cape Town because that one or two people were upset to the point where they couldn't wee and they had to wear a nappy, and you never know. Things happen. Have you finished answering the question from South?
Yeah, I'll wait for Savros to let me know what active constitute was in the product that he used.
Is this even my handle? Hey, gents, I've emailed Adam a question. It's too long for the question box. Would appreciate your advice. So can you please check your emails? Sir. Also, V Unit 469 said turn up the volume. I'm going to turn my volume up and see how it goes. I can still hear V Unit 469. You might need to look at using an alternative device. Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again? Adam's just checking his emails now.
Is it the one about New Sir Walter Buffalo?
Is this even my handle? It was sent through recently. I don't know the answer to that question.
It's the only email I've had this morning.
Let's go with it's probably the one.
Okay. Hey, lads. New
Hey.
Sir Walter is 11 weeks old, has had one application of wet and roots and waiting for the 12-week mark before I give it NSFW. Managed to keep the kids off while it settles, but want to let them loose soon. What can I do for the small area of extremely high foot traffic where they get on off the swings? I'd hate for the new turf to have one bad patch right in the middle. Thank you. Well, the good news is that 11 weeks old is very, in my opinion, would be very well established by now. In terms of the high traffic area, if you've got a pitchfork and you're starting to see signs of, wear and tear, just put the pitchfork in there, a little aeration, relieve the compaction, and you'll probably find that you'll get good results doing that, along with regular fertilizing, wetting agent, and mowing. So,
Cool. I'm hungry. This happens a lot. I think that's why I'm so fat.
I get no joy from this.
I think I've got that one here. No, I don't. Yes, I do. There's no other questions there. Any other questions on your platform?
Matt Lee just asked, looking sharp, Clint. By the way, I missed it. Why are you dressed so nicely? Court today?
Funny, sometimes I do wear a suit to go to court, but not to defend myself, because sometimes I represent myself or other parties as a very bad lawyer. So, yeah, I won't do that again. Last time I went, it was pretty embarrassing. Did I tell you about that?
No.
I went to represent a not-for-profit that was suing a partner or sponsor that hadn't paid the sponsorship fees and probably wasn't well prepared for that. So, yeah. I'm wearing a suit because I've got to gather around lunch today with another bunch of douchebags. I don't know who they are yet, so sorry if I've already offended you before I've met you. But it will be people from South Australian business community, I would believe. I've been invited from the Adelaide Venue Management Authority or whatever they're called. So they run the Adelaide Entertainment Centre and the Adelaide Convention Centre. We have a corporate box at the Entertainment Centre. So this is like their business development management of me. And so I expect I'll probably meet other business owners from there. Hopefully I'm accurately dressed. It said smart business casual or some shit.
That looks smart business
casual. Can I wear a
casual.
t-shirt? And Celeste said, no, that's not business casual. That's just casual. So, yeah, that's why. And I got a Crows pin.
Yep.
In case I bump into Port fans, just to stir up some trouble. They'll be like, I didn't know you were a Crows fan. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Tex fan.
I'm a Brendan Favola fan, but he doesn't play anymore. So now I'm working on my relationship with Tex, and maybe I'll become a Tex fan. We'll see. He didn't really do much last week, so we'll see. I didn't watch the game. I have no idea.
Yeah, it was a very stressful game last week. Last night I don't think was stressful. It was actually, like I said, it was a really good game of footy. So, yeah.
Melbourne grass cutter. Did you have to hire the suit? No, I own a few suits. This one is the best fitting one. I've got a blue one and a black one. I wore the blue one to a wedding in Brisbane on Saturday night. So that one's currently between dry cleanings. May or may not smell like cigarettes.
May or may not have a very good performance of Daryl Brathwaite horses.
May or may not be quite sweat-filled from a good 2-hour dance session. Yeah, Celeste was quite angry to find that I danced the night away.
Matt says shoes. How's the shoes? Often overlooked.
Ugh. These shoes, can you see them on the camera, are a custom-made leather boot with a seam up the middle. They were made by Ilario Spano of Spano Footwear, a good friend of mine, who has his own orthopedic footwear company and custom foot brand. Quite often, 3 times, he makes boots and just rocks up and gives them to me. So you might have seen on my Instagram recently that... Did you get that? Oh, it wasn't on the Instagram. Hang on. Ugh. Is that better? That's the boot. Anyway, they're really good boots. And Larry's a very handy boot maker, and I actually hope that he will be able to turn it into the business that he dreams of, because he cares a lot about it and he's trying to get better at it. business is really quite young. People that I know who wear suits like this, that walk around like douchebags, like I look right now, they're not douchebags, they're lawyers. They're douchebags. But people that wear the suits like this all the time, I'm hoping that he can kind of get a little bit of a foothold in the traditional RM Williams market and then, have a genuinely South Australian handmade boot available to business people and the like. So yeah, that's that story. I haven't got cufflinks today. I'm a big fan of cufflinks, but
You usually are a cuffling man.
But the Fat Man shirts, this is my Fat Man shirt. My cufflink shirts have obviously shrunk. So the dry cleaning obviously used different chemicals because they're real tight around my stomach. So I've had to buy a new shirt from Taro Cash. I bought this from Taro Cash because of all the shops I went into. They were the only ones that served me. Pretty fucking crazy in today's day and age. I went to Myer and I was looking at stuff and you just got these fucking robots just like hanging up clothes and like talking about like, they're almost like JB Hi-Fi stuff, but they don't talk to you.
The last suit I bought, I had a very good experience at the Elizabeth Shopping Centre with 7. Is that what it is?
I think that is they still around? Was.
Yeah, it's still there. Yeah, no, I had the lady and the male. They were obviously not busy that day. And I got
I'm going to say that it's not often someone goes into Elizabeth to buy a suit brand new. I guess most court suits are probably op shop or from Old Mate.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I'm not being a loser, but it definitely wasn't from the front. It was more towards the...
What's at the front, the cheap ones?
Yeah. The
so you got the $3.99 instead of the $1.99?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. No, I had a really good experience there. They fit me up and then they gave me a voucher to, obviously I was nice to them, wasn't rude to them. They gave me a voucher to go and get free touch-ups from the
Did you know I bought someone a suit once while I was out drunk?
Yes.
Do you know about this?
Yes. Now refresh my memory exactly how that went.
So me and Mudge were at the casino after an event, both wearing suits, and this dude and his fiance at the time was like, guys, you guys look so good. Like,
that's right.
I wish I could have a suit like that. That's fucking sick. And he's like, we're getting married soon. I'm like, I'll buy you a suit. And Mudge is like, oh, fuck. Here we go. I'm like, no, I'll buy you a suit, man. Give me your details.
That's right.
I'll buy you a suit.
I remember hearing about this and going, that's so Clint.
Yeah. And then I got his details and then I emailed him and said, hey, just making sure this is you. He's like, yep, cool. So I bought him like a $700 or $1,000 voucher for Peter Shearer menswear. I said, this should be able to get you a suit, maybe a second pair of pants and a shirt. Because I didn't want to just give him the money because I was like, might be from Gawler and just
that's right,
spends
and
it on
take
meth.
advantage.
So got him a suit. Never sent me a photo of him in the suit. Anyway, you can't do kind things for people expecting something in return.
No.
So Kira has asked for Trent's last initial. She wants to post the winner on R
for rabbit.
A rim job. Okay, cool. Rabbit.
Very different words there.
Well, you can also play rabbit and rim job together. They're not.
I think it'd get a bit messy.
Not an actual rabbit. You obviously haven't bought a.
Yes.
Cool.
From the old
from the petrol powered rabbits. Yep, cool. I'm gonna say it because I have to, but no, I can't.
Well, you can't.
Does Michael J. Fox have to turn his on?
That's a joke, and all that is just a joke.
It came into my mind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He doesn't mean it. It's a joke, and it's supposed to make people laugh.
The Fog Dog. How long do I have to wait to use Premature? I've just used Trojan 15 days ago.
You're probably another 6 weeks away. Yeah.
Less. Yeah, fuck it. 6 weeks. Go with it. What time is it?
10:52.
How long does it take to get to the city from here? Half an hour?
Is that possible to get a list of Total Tools Melbourne stockers, please?
Yeah, it is possible. I have it, and I've used artificial intelligence to populate an Excel sheet or a CSV, which I was hoping to import directly into our website, but unfortunately our website and the artificial intelligently prepared spreadsheet are not communicating. So I might just give the spreadsheet to what is it, Adam Jones, AJ? Ask Jabber, and he might have to populate it. What do they ask for? Melbourne.
Yeah.
Is the spreadsheet saved somewhere? I think it's on my desktop.
Not sure.
Did I send it to anyone?
No, I haven't seen it.
Because you could populate it. He wants to know stores in Melbourne.
Can you get
I think
Well,
I did. I don't know if
actually-
I think I used Manus. I don't have Manus on my phone. Oh no, you sent me a list because you called Dubbo Dunno.
Yeah, that's my Gawler.
So if I go into what's the thing called?
well,
Teams.
I'll just go to store locations. On
No,
the
you've got it. You
Total
gave me the
website.
list.
Yeah,
I'll,
but
I'll post it in the chat. What's your name? Adam Jones.
all day.
And if I go up, how long ago did you send me that list? It was in Teams, wasn't it?
I think we've got South Melbourne.
What does he want to know?
Definitely haven't got that one. Haven't got that one. Caroline Springs.
Here we go. Here's the list. Elizabeth, Bunbury, Joondalup, Alexandria, Lake Haven, Cape Town, just joking, Minchinbury, Bathurst, Blacktown, Penrith. Can you call it Blacktown? Penrith, Wodonga, Albury. Hang on, isn't Albury and Wodonga the same thing? Fishwick, Marion, Windsor Gardens, Springfield, Richlands, Dunno, which is actually Dubbo because he's an idiot.
Carrum Downs.
Bankstown, Coopers Plains, Capalaba, Tingalpa, Castle Hill, Carrum Downs, Brayside, East Brisbane, Lismore, Virginia, just jokes. Theberton, Mornington, Caroline Springs, Hobart. We gave them a bit of a shout out before. Murrayfield, Wollongong, Nowra, Albion Park, Seaford, Lonsdale, and Ballarat.
Oh, so South Melbourne wasn't on there.
No.
Hmm.
I don't know if we can paste that into the restream it or something like that, maybe. That list. I've got it copied as text. I can send it to you. Yeah, can you do that, please? I'll send it to you on Teams. You will need to change Dunno to Dubbo. Or I can do it before I press send. No, I'll do it. I've got it here. DUBBO. Now, obviously, if you are going into Total Tools stores looking for Lawnhub, as with all of our other resellers, and don't forget we do have resellers around the country who have been supporting us from the start. So if you have one nearby, doesn't mean that they no longer have stock. Make sure you check with the local store if they've got stock. Total Tools have purchased a starter pack, and I know some of the stores have sold a lot. This is probably a good time to mention because the people that are still watching are the ones that care. We will be having a sale in around Easter.
Yeah.
At Easter, on
At Easter time. Yeah,
and the sale will be 20% off store-wide, excluding agency products. For those of you that haven't heard that before, there are some companies that we buy from that we are an agent for, and we are not allowed to discount their products, so the agency products won't be discounted. So 20% off. There'll be a code that will be shared with you. If you are on our email or text subscriptions, you will get early access to that. The reason that matters is because some stuff will sell out. It doesn't mean we won't be able to get it back, but it might mean that we don't get it back if there's certain chemicals that we can't get because they've run out or whatever. So if you are interested in the sale, get on it early. If you do purchase during that sale period, you will be in the draw to win not only a Greenworks mow blow and snip and trip pack.
Lawnmower update, ultimate startup kit.
They have missed a massive opportunity to call that snow blow, glow, blow, snip, and you know what I mean. And then you will also be in the draw to win a Evil Knievel Greenworks battery operated motorbike, pit bike, dirt bike.
It is.
Do your own research.
What would it be under? It would be under
The Sky.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. It is the Stealth. It's a 60-volt Stealth series off-road mini bike.
I'm going to guess that I'm not allowed to ride them because of there be a weight limit. I guess it would be under 100 kilos, maybe 80.
You reckon?
I do. I'd say that I would probably cause the Guangzhou welding on the frame to maybe...
Max riding weight, 100 kilograms.
Yeah, 100 kilograms.
All right, I'll write it.
We're gonna get dinner. We're gonna try and jump through a bunch of Lawnhub boxes and make an ad.
Oh, like the very first TikTok we did with Reedy coming through with the money shop bottles.
Coming out?
Yeah. Coming through?
Coming through.
Yes.
Freudian slip. I ate all my cashews. We've been going for more than 2 hours. Oh no, you know what? This watch loses time. Or gains time. I haven't been overly happy with it. I set the time and then it moves. It's obviously something going on. I'm guessing it would have a warranty of some sort.
You would hope so.
Yeah. Yep. Like having good audio on a podcast. Where do we take you back to? And do you have a warranty card? Can we finish the podcast?
Yeah, we can finish the podcast.
I need to go get some crisps from the vending machine.
I need to go do a wee.
You can wee here.
All right.
Did I tell you about the time I tried to piss in a bottle on a plane in business class? Maybe we'll save that one for next week.
Why?
Tune in next week if you want to hear that story.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll play us out.
No worries. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Where's my buttons?
Those of you in Adelaide,
we go.
enjoy the gather round if you are going. Those of you interstate, enjoy the weekend. Watch the golf. Who's your tip to win the golf? Quick.
I don't even know who's playing. I'm going to say Jason Day.
Okay.
He's got a chip on his shoulder because they won't allow him to wear his Malbon shit, so he's going to go win it and then talk about Malbon.
Fair.
See if that happens. I just don't know if you saw yesterday, he's giving away merch, but it's in a sealed bag, so you can't see what it is.
Yeah, okay. Maybe we should do that and just give away like... it's just some quick comments here.
Turn it down, Dylan.
Matt Lee, can I double stack Prem? Applied 2 weeks ago. I want to load up for winter. No, it'll be a bit overkill. Still try and hold out to the 8 to 10 week mark. And VJ, can't wait to get mini pill during sale. Unfortunately, we do not have any
Why not?
because it's not available.
Oh, God.
Yeah, maybe we'll see if we can get something in alternatively. But yeah, any hoozles. Have a great weekend and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.